Well, the academia sure is busy during the day. But where should we go looking for people that we know?
Traveler, Paimon.
Cyno! It's been so long since we last saw you!
Welcome back to Sumeru City. I'm delighted to meet you again. So, what brings you back here?
Oh, nothing in particular. I'm just...
Funnily enough, we were reminiscing about you recently too.
Really? You were thinking of us too?
Indeed. Or as I call it. You really want me to say the rest? Okay. It's always rice to meet...
Oh, darnies.
You like that one, huh? You must if you remember it after all this time. Admit the truth. You have long been...
All right. Here's your 500 mora.
You're exaggerating.
Hey, 500 mora is still a lot of snow.
All right. I'll treat you to... Anyway, I'm actually investigating a case right now.
A case? What happened?
Nothing major. But after finding out...
Need any help? We only came here to hang out, so we've got the...
Such enthusiasm.
What? No!
Obvious enough. Still, all right. Follow me.
Perhaps we could take a walk by a riverbank or...
Do you see him? The old man flailing around?
Oh, is he the one you wanted to talk to about the case?
Correct. His name is Cyrus, a former Spontamod sage.
Huh? Cyno's teacher is...
It's ridiculous. I'm just an old man who enjoys a spot of gardening, shopping, and wine.
Professor, I've brought some friends.
Ah, Cyno. Now who do we have here? Hold on, let me think. A flying fairy dressed in... My goodness. You must be the legendary
Wow, looks like we're really famous.
I've told him about you before. You are my friends, after all. That's right. Let me sum... A couple of days ago, Professor Cyrus suddenly received a threat letter.
A threat letter?
Exactly. Who sends a threat letter to an old man?
This is the letter in question.
Cyrus, I have uncovered your secret. If you wish to prevent... Secondly, don't come looking for me. Wow, they sure didn't mince their words.
Clearly, this person must...
10 million more. What a joke. I'm just a single retiree with nothing to my name beyond the tomatoes in my...
There were no witnesses. So currently the letter is all we've got. So, Traveler,
Paimon's ready to...
All right, take a look. Yes. Some of the strokes are blurry.
So is there something wrong with the ink?
Possibly. And I bet the paper has something to do with it.
Most of the paper around here is much smoother than this, and the ink is absorbed quickly so it doesn't run. This paper, meanwhile, it's...
It's certainly not the same paper as we use in the academia. But the ink is nothing special. Just regular black ink that gets a blue tinge when applied to paper.
So do we think the culprit has... Wait! Check this out! Looks like this part got...
Agreed. The staining suggests it was a colored liquid.
A colored liquid, so... Tea...
Well, it's like we're thinking along similar lines. Let's go talk to Ara.
Sounds good to me.
Arav.
Mahamatra Cyno. Sir Cyrus. Ah, and the Traveler and Pie.
As such, I'm inclined to believe that the culprit in this case is a student. Oh, one last thing.
Oh, of course! You think the culprit spilled...
They do look like coffee stains to me. Also, if I'm not mistaken, the letter...
Ah, of course! Yes, like they sell in the gift shops. I remember now.
Understood. I'll assemble a team to invest.
You have my gratitude.
One last thing. Send some Matra to guard the entry.
Will do.
Great thinking, Cyno. So, where do we... Yeah, they've probably been...
You're right, Pipe.
Really?
The culprits approach. Whatever happens, they need this Mora. But and crucially, the culprits said they'd be watching the professor.
Huh? Wait, are you saying...
Found you! You wrote the threat letter!
I don't know what you're talking about.
I sensed someone was watching us from the shadows the moment we entered the House of Dana. You managed to stay relatively well hidden. For someone reckless enough, there are a lot of people here, but we were looking specifically for Arav. Whoever followed us the whole way was likely to be the culprit.
I was just listening in, that's all. You know something big's going down when Mahamatra Cyno shows up, right? So I got a little curious. What's the big deal?
You smiled when Arav left. I saw it as clear as day.
Is smiling a crime now?
There are coffee stains on the letter. You mixed some coffee with water, gently smeared it onto the paper, then wiped it off with a wet cloth. All to create... Closing off the exits to the city doesn't affect you, because you already live here. And as long as the Matra were focused on the cafes, you would be free. The cafe was a red herring all along. You had to be somewhere where you could monitor the professor.
You can't pin this on me! I haven't done anything!
Really? Then why are you The innocent have no reason to fear the Matra. But you, your heart's racing, and your eyelids are twitching. Yeah.
I would never...
Don't try anything or you'll pay the price.
Well, that was over quickly.
You're telling me. 1 minute I go out for a quick smoke, the next minute I see Arav already on his way back to meet up with Cyno. Looked like a young guy, too. Couldn't have been much more than 30. But after what he's done, I'm afraid...
Everyone, it's all over.
Gosh, that was so...
The culprit's name is Raka, a 16-year-old student in the
Huh?
16? Cyrus thought he looked 30-something!
We checked his records. He's 16, a third-year student.
But he looks so old.
Yeah, seriously.
Foolish child. He's too young for the criminal life.
We question the culprit regarding his motives.
Oh, just spit it out. Nothing can surprise me at this point.
Very well. It's our understanding that Araka is a mediocre student who has been underperforming in his classes. He started taking extra tutoring to improve his grades, but developed a gambling habit around the same time and lost a lot of Mora. Down on his luck, he went to the tavern for a drink and overheard some people chatting about Sir Cyrus's comfortable retirement. They mentioned that he's always arguing about his tomato plants with some old woman on the street.
Some old woman on the street? Goodness gracious. Has that rascal attended a single one of his...
Is this going?
Oh, right, yes. So another thing. We don't just argue about tomato plants. And what are they trying to insinuate by comfortable?
Maybe it's more the fact that you have the time to grow vegetables in the first place.
Araka mentioned he'd heard a rumor, alleging that Sir Cyrus illegally obtained a large sum of money from the desert before retiring, and kept it for himself instead of reporting it. Araka believes this money to be the reason why Sir Cyrus hasn't kept up with any academic...
Oh, Araka. I'm at a loss for words. I'm so angry I don't know where to start.
People make up rumors all the time. I am quite...
Arav, you'll have to find some excuse to
I completely understand how you feel, Sir Cyrus, but I'm afraid that course of action goes against the Matra's principles.
Professor, There's...
Oh, come on. I was clearly joking.
Okay.
The academia will determine the appropriate disciplinary action against the student. And as for the individuals spreading rumors about the professor's obsession with tomatoes and some old woman on the street, there could be a slander case here. The Matra will continue to investigate.
Who said I'm obsessed with some old woman on the street? Mind your wording or you'll start a whole new rumor. You seem confused. Oh, don't you understand? Uraka is just a young boy who made a very rash and very stupid decision based on some groundless rumor all it cost me is a little reputational damage.
Please rest assured, Professor, that the academia will issue a fair and reasonable punishment.
Yes, I have no doubt about that. But as a former educator, I'd still like to have a serious conversation with the boy's parents.
We looked into the family. Both parents are merchants, and they're often away on business. They've never taken much of an active role.
Oh, what a mess. You don't have to seal the evidence away yet, do you? I'd like to have that letter back for the time being, if possible. I need something concrete for when I talk to the family tonight. We have to show them how serious this...
The relevant authorities have already reviewed the evidence and are now discussing Uraka's punishment. You can...
Oh, so you'll be able to close the case...
Give or take. Cases like this are quick to...
Very good. Well, thank you for all your help.
My apologies, Sir Cyrus, but I have a prior commitment.
Ah, I see. Well, that's a pity. But Cyno, you have to come. And isn't Tighnari in town at the moment? Bring him along, too.
Wait, you mean Tighnari's in the city?
He is. Tighnari's master, Sir Nephis, called him and Kale to the academia to help out on a project. They should be at Nephis's office, though I must say, I'm surprised you're extending an invitation to Tighnari. Did you...
Don't be outrageous. Nephis offends me all the time. Anyway, hurry up and fetch Tighnari. I'll head over to the tavern with the Traveler and Paimon. See you there. Go on now. Don't keep us waiting. Not to brag, but we never had problems like this at Ratawa. It was students at the time. They'll tell you what it was like, won't they?
I was out in the forest at least 4 days a week back then, thanks to a colossal workload from Master. It wrought havoc on my... Most of what I know, I heard from Cyno after.
Professor's become a lot more laid back in his retirement. He used to be far stricter, and was a...
Wow. It's hard enough to stay true to your principles as a normal...
It's a pity Kale wasn't around at the time. I would have happily taken her on as a student.
And then we'd have one more person who has to address Lisa as upper-class woman.
Really? Can't you just call her Lisa? She seems to prefer it when people treat her like an older sister.
Oh, believe me, back when she was a student, nothing made her
Whoa, more food? Are you sure about this? We don't want to take advantage.
Oh, don't worry about it. Order whatever you like. And if it's not enough...
I thought I heard some familiar voices. And Sir Cyrus is here as well.
Oh, Kave, it's been a while. Zahahadi was talking about you last...
I've been all right, thank you. You're looking very well, sir.
Have you eaten yet? Care to...
That's awfully kind of you, but I had a late lunch, so I'm not really hungry just yet. I'll have dinner a little bit later tonight. I just came to Lombard's to buy some wine, and when I heard some voices I recognized, I thought I'd... So what's the occasion, anyway? Some sort of celebration?
Consolation, more like. You wouldn't believe the day...
Sounds like things have really gone downhill since I was there.
I can't believe how young the guy is. What are his parents going to...
Young people are always more susceptible to making rash and ill-advised decisions. But still, this boy has some nerve. Just look at what he wrote. Oh, it makes me...
Wow, yeah. Jeez.
I will always be watching you and all of your secrets. And then he just followed you into the...
If this were my son,
Luckily, I'm also an extremely principled person.
Kave! Your order's ready, sir!
Coming. I'll have to get going. Have a nice evening, everyone. I'll catch you all another time.
Okay, bye-bye!
Here I am. The coffee beans are in here too.
Yep, it's all there.
I'll stop babbling away now. Let's eat before the food...
Oh, too tasty.
Oh, mine too. I'll have...
Thanks for dinner, Sir Cyrus. Master Tainari and I will bring you some homemade herbal tea.
Well, I look forward to that. In fact, could I try...
No problem at all. I'll pack some up and bring it over.
I'll see you all later. I better head home now and tend to the crops.
Good night, Professor. Don't let those tomatoes keep you up too late.
Hey, my tomatoes are serious business. I am not about to be beaten by some... Anyway, I'll be leaving now. Don't stay up too late now, children. I bid you all
Take care, have a safe...
All right. Now, we finally have some us time.
What do you mean,
Well, I was talking with Tainari and Kale, and since we all have some free...
camping? Oh, that sounds fun! Paimon's in!
Right? It's been so long since...
Everyone, let's meet tomorrow afternoon. No need to bring anything. We've already packed everything for the trip. Just bring your delightful selves and prepare to have some fun.
You got it! We'll...
Great. Then we'll see you tomorrow.
Kinda set... We're here! Wow, you guys are ahead of the game. You set up the...
I'd say we're right about on schedule, actually.
Traveler, Paimon, let's go fishing together. What
You got it! Dinner's on us tonight!
I hope I can contribute too. The other Forest Watchers gave me some fishing tips a little while ago.
I saw some very appetizing mushrooms in the area, so I gathered a few for us.
Wow, camping with a forest watcher is the way to go! They think of everything!
This is true. I don't think I've ever had a single rough day in this forest.
So, how is...
Well, there's been some high points and low points, but we've had some...
I see. Oh, in that case, you should try a valberry. I bought
A valuable suggestion. Just don't bury your feelings using...
all I wanted was to recommend something...
Oh, I have a sudden craving for fruit tea. I'm gonna go fetch some stuff.
She sure made a run for it.
Unbelievable!
So Kale chose the path of tactical retreat. My dear friend, you know what I am about to say. Oh, drat. But this isn't over. It's only a matter of time before I challenge...
Ugh, this guy...
I'll reel it in.
Firewood, spices, snacks, and drinks. Everything's ready. There are 3 tents. Which one do you two want to take?
How about the one on the left? Well, Paimon just thinks the ambiance here is a little better.
True. But it's also the closest to the water. If there are any sleepwalking fungi around tonight, they might stumble into your tent.
Well, that's no good. Take my weapon. You can use it to bar the entrance.
Anyone would think you were sealing the gates to King Deshret's mausoleum.
Excellent. Then this tent will be an impenetrable fortress.
I'm back! How's your appetites? Ready for the barbecue?
Always. Oh, it smells so good.
Someone sure is desperate to eat.
Wait, what? Isn't that just for steak?
Hey, if it works for steak, maybe it works for other things.
Medium well for me.
Okay, these are about ready now then. It'll be a few more minutes for anyone who wants theirs well done.
Oh, that was so delicious.
I ate a lot too.
If you're tired, then go rest.
You must be getting sleepy too, Paimon. Why don't you guys head to your tents?
Tonight, I show you mercy. Our sacred duel will...
Good night.
Paimon's struggling to keep her eyes open.
Oh, don't forget this. The Staff of the Scarlet Sands.
Wait, you were actually being serious about that?
It's a very powerful...
Paimon can't even lift that thing.
Fair enough. You
Yeah, Paimon's sure. We'll be fine. And even if we do get it...
That reminds me of a parting king of invocations. But right now, it's time to rest.
I think they should all be here. Traveler? Paimon?
Look at this.
What the... What's this sword doing here? Is it supposed to keep out intruders?
Evidently.
What? Who is it? Oh, what time do you call this? Paimon's gonna take out the sword. Yeah! Oh, hey them, Kaveh! What are you doing here? It's the middle of the...
Sorry to wake you up at this hour of the night, but we've got to sit...
Let's get dressed and talk about it outside.
Something has come up. And since it pertains to Cyrus and Cyno...
Whoa, back up. Let's start from the beginning. Where'd the wine cups go? I could have sworn I left them here after I washed... Ah, there they are.
I'll have a cup too.
Can you see if the cookies are still on the table?
They are. And so are the fruits.
Oh, this is so bland. I should have gotten a few bottles of what Cyno's group was drinking last night.
Do tell.
Oh, right, I forgot to mention. So, I ran into Cyrus yesterday evening when I went to the tavern to pick up some things. He was hosting a dinner for Cyno. Anyway, they got a bottle of Lombard's new vintage for the table. At least, I think that's what it was.
Sounds like they're all tangled up in this.
You know what it's about, right? 16-year-old kid tried to extort Cyrus. He was asking for 10 million.
I heard some people talking about it on the streets, yes. Didn't take them long to catch.
I wonder what Sir Nephis and the others will make of it. Oh, Cyrus showed me the extortion letter, too. It was crudely written, but the paper had this beautiful pattern on it that I've never seen. Give me a sec, I'll sketch it out for you. Okay, done. Take a look. You see what I mean? I don't think I've ever seen writing paper like this around before.
Interesting. These are all motifs.
What?
Take this, for instance. Looks like an outline of a spire, similar to the kind found on some ancient palace. It bears a striking resemblance to an ancient emblem, one that hasn't been used in a very long time.
Whose emblem is it?
It's the emblem of the Temple of Silence.
After discussing it with each other, we both agreed that something didn't feel right. This was a long way to come from the city. Alhaitham figured you were probably with Tighnari, so Gandharva... Then, just as we were heading off to the campsite, we ran into Cyno.
Hold on. So what's the deal with that emblem you were talking about?
Is everything okay? Give me a sec.
So you've never heard of the Temple of Silence? These days, you can find a Temple of Silence office in the academia. Theoretically, at least, that's what they tell the outside world. In truth, it's essentially a vestigial and historically speaking, the original Temple of Silence is said to have been established by Hermanubis, one of the 7 pillars of King Deshret, and by contrast, none of the Academia Temple's current members are from the desert region.
So the Temple of Silence at the Academia is just...
It's possible. The real question is...
So, how do you know all this? Sounds like some pretty tough...
Did you forget? He did a stint as acting Grand Sage, and kept the pay raise even after he resigned.
Oh, yeah! Paimon did totally forget about that. So you took the chance to read all the top secret documents while you were acting Grand Sage, huh?
If you're asking me whether I familiarized myself with the documentation in my office, I would respond that that's a perfectly normal part of any job.
So much about this doesn't make sense. Why did the emblem of the Temple of Silence appear on a threat letter from an Academia student to Cyrus? The student's only 16, and doesn't have any family ties to the
You said you ran into Cyno, yes?
Yep. He ran off.
Given that Cyrus is involved, he's probably... Still, we should try to catch up with him. At this...
If the Academia's Temple of Silence really does exist just to cover up the truth, we should pay a visit to the...
Yes. As the Sage of...
If this situation is connected to the real Temple of Silence...
Kale, could I trouble you to send a message to the Core of 30? Traveler, Paimon.
Sounds like a plan.
Cyrus has been living in the city lately. He rented a place near the field so he can keep an eye on his tomato. Here we are. This is the place.
Huh, we might be too late. Looks like nobody's home. Oh, Cyno moves fast. If he was, he...
I know that voice. Is that Tighnari I hear?
Ah! Professor Zahahadi!
Wow, so it really is you. My goodness.
We're looking for Cyno. So, he's...
Yes, not long ago, in fact. He knocked on... I told him the old fool left early this morning, and I hadn't heard him come back. So we went to his place. It must have alarmed Cyno, because he took off in an awful hurry after...
Well, if Cyrus isn't at home.
Professor, did you hear that a student recently tried to extort
Why, yes. When I left the house that day, I noticed he was watering his flowers in the field in complete silence. I could tell something was troubling him, but he wouldn't tell me what it was. After seeing the letter, Cyno told him to contact the Corps of 30, but Cyrus was very reluctant.
Huh? Cyrus didn't want to report it? Well, that's strange. When we saw him, he seemed...
As a former sage, it's possible Cyrus still has enemies at the Academia. That's why...
So Cyrus initially hoped to stop this from going public. But...
Oh, dear. What on earth has that old fool... Oh, I almost forgot. Cyno left me this letter to pass on to you.
Thank you.
What does it say? My friends, this is a rather complicated state of affair.
Yep, that sounds like Cyno. Thank you, Professor. Please do not worry. We will do all we can to protect both Cyno and Cyrus. Traveler, Paimon, let's head to the Academia.
You're here? I thought you were going after...
We went to Cyrus's house. No one was there. Cyno got there before us, but...
He didn't say where he was going.
No, he left us a letter and told us not to go out.
Can't say I'm surprised.
Typical Cyno. Anyway, some updates on progress on our end. I drew the emblem from memory again, but in more detail this...
I checked some ancient texts for a similar design. The one I found was a little blurry, but the similarities in the
Yeah, and we're lucky we found anything at all.
Meanwhile, Arav managed to get Uraka to disclose his source. The one who told him about Cyrus's embezzled funds was a young man from the desert. According to Uraka, he had a striking presence and was well educated.
Apparently, the two met in the tavern over a game of cards. The guy claimed to be in the city. Uraka was intrigued when he heard what his new acquaintance had to say, and brought up the idea of extorting Cyrus for Mora. The guy encouraged him to go ahead with it, then handed him some pen and paper to write the letter.
I see. So it could be that this person planted the paper intentionally.
So, how do we find this guy? Did Uraka...
He doesn't know. He claims not to have seen him since that day in the tavern. The man gave him some tips on how to carry...
Nephis and Arav have gone to meet the Corps of 30 and review the city's entrance. Also, Nephis admitted that the Temple of Silence and the true Temple of Silence once came to the rainforest to establish a collaboration with the Temple of Silence felt that they could no longer trust the Academia and ended the partnership. They retreated back to the desert about 400 years ago. Ever since its inception, the Temple of Silence has been the guardians of King Deshret's civilization and belief system. They traveled throughout Sumeru. At its roots, it was a legitimate and reputable organization whose purpose was to guide people to...
The Academia of the day knew that the split would damage their reputation if it became a matter of public knowledge. And so, they...
Not only that, but they managed to keep up the...
So how did Cyrus become acquainted with the true Temple of Silence if they left
I'll bet that's the question that bothered Cyno. Probably why he went after him.
Whoever is behind this, getting Uraka to extort Cyrus was only the first step of the plan.
He must have recognized it right away. That'll be why he didn't want to involve the...
Since the desert is where the Temple of Silence originated, that is an all...
I have to go after him.
Really? Are you sure that's a good idea, with how...
I should be fine, as long as I bring plenty of water.
Everyone, I have news from the Corps of 30.
Master!
Oh, so that's Nafis, Tainari's master? Well,
It's a pleasure to meet you, Traveler and Paimon. Several independent eyewitnesses have reported seeing Cyrus and Mahamatra Cyno. I was going to suggest that you join forces with the Corps of 30 in this case. However, As I'm sure you've already heard from Al-Haytham and Kaveh, the Academia has made a number of decisions throughout history that I am ashamed to talk about. I won't attempt to make you understand the Academia.
I understand where you're coming from, Master. But I'm afraid...
Good point. If Cyrus is involved with the other side, or worse, if he's Everyone, we have to get Cyrus and Cyno back safely. We cannot afford to lose them.
Need our help? Whatever you need, we got you covered.
Really? Wonderful. You have my most... Arav and I will continue to follow up on the lead from Uraka. Kaveh, Scribe Al-Haytham, I'd like to ask you to cover the duties of the House of Dana. Tighnari, you are planning to go into the...
I am. Kaveh, I'll be okay. You stay behind to help...
Well, if you're sure...
Thank you all. Arav, let's go.
You'd better get moving. Don't forget to ask for help when you need it.
Will do. Let's go, Tighnari. Hopefully we can catch up with Cyno.
Knowing him, he's probably covered a fair distance already.
Okay, we made it to Caravan Ribat. Where should we go? Maybe we should ask the nearby...
Hold on.
Is that Dia?
You sure you want to brave the desert alone? I mean, it's your choice at...
It's not my first time.
Cyno.
If you're really going to go through with this, then at least take our advice. When you're packing for your trip, but...
Makes sense. Okay.
Thought we might find you here. You're trying to retrace Cyrus's steps, aren't you?
Didn't I tell you not to come after me?
Well, sorry, but we never agreed to that. Why would you go off on your own like this?
Nothing personal. It's just a complex situation. And I'd rather not involve anyone else if I can help it.
Takes a special kind of person to get Cyno chasing them all, but why so coy today, huh? You only gave us his age and description. Why can't you reveal... Oh, also, hey guys, it's been a...
Dia and Candace! So nice to see you.
You're looking well. Glad to see it. Candace and I came to Caravan Ribat on business. We ran into Cyno as he was asking about... Some people say they saw him. Guess he stood out as an older guy heading into the desert alone with just a sumpter beast in tow and very few supplies. That's gotta be one heck of a story there.
Cyno, it's okay if you can't tell us anything about the case. We're here to help however you need. The more people we have...
No, it's not that simple. If...
We spoke with Zaha Hadid. From what she said, it's pretty...
Sounds like this is far more complex.
Still, if he started from Caravan Ribat,
My thanks to you both. Once this is...
Come on. No need to get all serious. All right, so...
Yes, we'll handle it from here. Thank you.
All right, then we'll leave you to it. Just remember...
And don't think you'd be imposing. You can depend on us.
Don't worry, we'll keep him out of trouble.
Cyno should count himself lucky that the Traveler and Tighnari got here when they did. What was he thinking, trying to play the lone hero?
The desert tests the character of all who enter it. And...
Hold on. There's a few things I'd like to clear up.
Go.
So, after you left the campsite...
Clearly, we've only scratched the surface of the Temple of Silence question.
Do you have any connection with the Temple of Silence?
I do. I trust you're all aware of the spirit that gives me... Due to my unique constitution, I was put through a number of trials in the desert when I was younger. Later, I met the professor, but my memory of that time is hazy. I can't... It's a good thing that Kaveh noticed the emblem on the letter. Without that, I did not recognize that symbol at all. Whether that's because I've never seen it, or because my memory fails me, It's hard to say.
Yeah, you're right. Thank goodness for Kaveh, and for Alhaitham's diligence during his time as acting Grand Sage.
But Cyrus must have recognized it right away, right? Otherwise, he wouldn't have had any.
I suspect so too. Professor has never once mentioned the temple.
Well, speaking of avoiding things, you do realize, don't...
Or rather, I don't see how I could manage to ditch you on...
That's right. Fact is, we're coming with you whether you like.
Fair enough. Then at least...
Works for me. All right, off we go. Let's start by seeing what the guard...
Hello.
Mahamatra.
I'm looking for someone. So I'd like to confirm...
A man matching that description passed by Aru village not too long ago. He stopped by to load up on food and water and feed his...
Where was he going?
Let me think. He took a seat by the entrance of the village for a while and had a brief chat with the person who came to deliver the water. Do you have a map?
I have one.
Great. There you go.
Thank you so much.
You've got a really good memory.
You're quite welcome. Best of luck. I hope you find him soon.
Useless.
Hold on.
Do you think it's safe to...
Should be. I'll go...
No. I'll do it.
Huh? Why can't Cyno go...
Given my background, appearance, and the way I dress, I might not be the most welcome visitor here. Just in case, it's probably...
Hello there. Hope I'm not interrupting. My friend and I are looking for an elderly...
Oh, a missing person, huh? Sure.
I'm just wondering if you've seen him. Let me give...
So, a silver-haired guy in a long robe, culture type with thoughtful eyes.
He'd stand out like a sore thumb around here.
Yeah, sounds like the kind of guy we'd remember if we saw him.
He's looking behind me.
Uh-oh. That guy's
Your friend over there stands out a lot, too. Hey! Aren't you Cyno, the General Mahamatra?
Yes, that's me.
You don't seem surprised that I recognized you.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Oh, you're the one looking for the old man who's gone missing.
I have a bad feeling about this guy.
Someone's on edge. You don't trust me. No need to hide it. I understand why you're wary of us. Still, you came to us asking...
I thought you were a group of merchants.
Your henchmen don't look like much, but something tells me they put up...
Hey! Hear that, guys? You're my henchmen now.
Suits me. As long as I get paid.
Just cut to the chase already. I'm running.
All right. Come with me. All of you. Don't you want to find your friend? Silver-haired, long-robe, culture type with thoughtful eyes? Sounds like there's a whole other side to Cyrus I didn't...
So you know where he is?
Just follow me. I'll take you to him.
are you looking? There's nothing.
Please step back.
Whoa, something's coming out of the...
What is this enormous building doing here?
And how was it so well hidden?
Wait, so... Hold on.
Is this the Temple of Silence?
All good questions. There'll be plenty of time.